Welcome to this very special broadcast. We are coming to you live from the city of Nizams, the city of Hyderabad, with the Citizens Manifesto. When this election began back in April, we went to Chennai, then to Bengaluru, then Srinagar. The beautiful Dal Lake was the setting for our Citizens Manifesto in Srinagar. And now we are here in the beautiful city of palaces, the city of Hyderabad. And we're coming to you live from this beautiful setting of the Chiran Fort right in the heart of Begumpet in Hyderabad. On Citizens Manifesto tonight, we have a lovely panel of both experts and political party spokespersons. And we have a lovely audience here who will be asking some tough questions to their political representatives on what they have done or what they have failed to do for the city of Hyderabad over the last many years and decades. So, welcome to the Citizens Manifesto. Let's start with a round of applause for this lovely audience here and our panelists. Let me start off by introducing our panel from right to left. Mr. Ram Mohan Reddy is spokesperson of the Congress Party. We have Mr. Vijay Verma, actor, and Vinay Verma, actor and prominent resident of the city of Hyderabad. We have Mr. N.V. Subhash, leader of the BJP and also from the illustrious P.V. Narasimha Rao family. Welcome to the broadcast. Ms. Karuna Gopal is president of Futuristic Cities. Welcome, ma'am. Mr. Sriram Kari is the resident editor of the Deccan Chronicle newspaper, and Kasturi Shankar is actor and very prominent citizen voice of the city of Hyderabad. So, welcome to the broadcast, everyone. Let me start off by asking the one critical issue, and we've touched upon this in city after city, whether it is Bengaluru, Chennai, or now even in the city of Hyderabad. There seems to be a disconnect between what the politicians say, whether it is on the campaign trail, whether it's the promises they make, and what is the reality on the ground. So let me start off by asking the Congress Party spokesperson, because you're the ruling party in the state. You won a big victory just 6 months ago. You made a lot of promises to the residents of the city and to the people of this state, but it doesn't seem like in the last 6 months you've been able to implement too much of that. You're already saying the state is debt burden, 6 lakh crores and so on. So Mr. Reddy, please tell the viewers of Hyderabad and the viewers nationally who are watching this broadcast, what is it that you've done? Have you overpromised and underdelivered?
It is not 6 months, it is 3 months. And ours is the most successful government, running a successful administration. And we have come up with 6 guarantees before elections, and we are fulfilling that. And most of the promises are being implemented, starting from the free transportation for women, and 200 units of free electricity, and Arogyasri, which got enhanced from 5 lakh rupees to 10 lakh rupees, and whatnot. Even so many schemes, just like giving compensation to the bereaved families of the Gulf employees. We have started, and there is an initiation of few other schemes, but due to this election code, those things got
Mr.
stalled.
Reddy, the criticism is that these are dole-outs, these are handouts. This is, almost like akin to bribing the voter.
Even before elections, BJP and BRS started alleging, saying that, these sort of schemes, freebies, are not good, and how can they be possible when state is running it in debts, huge debts. Then we said, it is possible if we are convicted and, serious in running the state. And we are making successful, right?
Okay.
And
so on the one hand, let me ask the BJP spokesperson. On the one hand, the Congress, the BRS are accused of all these dole-outs and handouts, whereas your party is accused of polarizing. You play one card in every election, which is Hindu-Muslim. Why is it that the BJP can't defend its track record in 2024? You've been in power 10 years. Why do you have to resort to Mangal Sutra and Muslim quota and so on? Mr. Subhash.
Yeah, let me tell you one thing. This is not, the polarization or something on that. Whatever the Bharatiya Janata Party says before going to the election, what we do is we just release a manifesto, and then we tell to the people, when we come into power, this is what we are going to do.
But Mr. Subhash, the irony is, more than your manifesto, you're speaking about the Congress's manifesto.
No.
Why are you doing that?
We are not speaking about, the Congress, the manifesto. We are speaking about the failures. As Mr. Ramon Reddy was telling about, the Congress, the guarantees. What we fail to understand, that before coming into power, you know, the Congress party very well knows, because the Congress party was very, very vocal, as, the Bharatiya Janata Party, that BRS party has really looted the state. There is no money in the
Coffers.
the coffers. It's all just exhausted on that. Still, you choose that you are going to give, all the guarantees, and then you are going to implement.
Okay.
You know it, very well, because it's, the doldrums on that. Once you come into power by hook or crook, then you are saying that we need 100 days, and then, the election code has come, and then again they say that Independence Day. See, before coming
but
to
if
power,
you could answer my question about why are you resorting to polarizing rhetoric? Are you not confident about your track record of the last 10 years?
We are 100% confident. We are 100% confident of our, the track record. And then we give a report card to the people also, what we have done in next, these 5 years, and then what we are going to do in the next the 5 years.
Okay.
And when we talk about, Hindu, or when we talk about Hindu gods or something, why should not we talk about it? This country, around 85 people are Hindus. Then why we should not talk about it?
Okay.
And when we talk about God, goddesses, and all those things, they say that we are,
Polarizing.
fanatics, and then we say that, people say that we are, the polarizing. When rest of the world are talking about their own community and their own religion, why should not we talk about it?
Okay, let Karna Gopal respond to that, because I think the reason that, I'm sure the audience will also ask this, is because these are not the resonant issues for the people of Hyderabad. Or is it? Are these the resonant issues?
Okay, I'm speaking as a party representative. First of all, I think there is a clear distinction between parliament elections and assembly elections.
Sure.
And today, when we talk about the candidates from Bharatiya Janata Party, each of the candidates, you look at them, you see Modi behind them. You look at Congress candidates, you see a Rahul Gandhi behind. So basically, all these are fought by the national leaders' persona and image. I mean, you can't even deny this. So given that, let's look at the track record of what BJP has done in the last 10 years. I'll give you a quick overview. When Prime Minister took over the stewardship of the country in 2014, what was the state of economy? We were somewhere in the 11th position in GDP terms globally. Inflation was very high. The balance of payments was not healthy. Rupee was fragile. Forex reserves were very low. So much so that if some of you recall that Chidambaram, who was the finance minister at that time, told the people not to buy gold. Because when we, as citizens buy gold, the government has to pay in dollars, and Forex was very bad. Manufacturing was at the lowest. And at that time, Garibi Hatao was still what? It was just a slogan.
Okay.
Now, after 10 years, where are we? We are in the 5th position globally in GDP terms. Very soon, we'll be in the 3rd position because Japan and Germany are not doing too well. IMF, in India, we say that we will reach the 3rd position in 2029. But strangely, IMF says we will reach it much faster in 2027. But if you look at Congress, you know what it said? 3rd position we will reach in 2043. Just imagine that's what they thought. Today,
Okay.
rupee is stable. All the best things are happening today. Garibi Hatao was a slogan. And now we have moved 25 crore people from multidimensional poverty.
So all of these points are taken, but Mr. Verma, the question then arises, yes, I think Karna Gopal has a valid point. This is a national election. This is not so much a local election. Therefore, you can't keep talking about roads or drains or why 1 hour of rain in Hyderabad brings the city to a standstill. Do you think the voter is making that distinction? This is a national election. Therefore, for national issues, I'm voting.
So, अब देखिए ये मैनिफेस्टोज और वादों के बारे में एक शेर है कि मेरे महबूब ने वादा किया है 5वें दिन का, मेरे महबूब ने वादा किया है 5वें दिन का, किसी से सुन लिया होगा ये दुनिया 4 दिन की है. तो 5वां दिन कभी आता नहीं है पॉलिटिशियंस के लिए. बहरहाल जो ये इश्यूज आप बात कर रहे हैं उससे हटकर मेरा सवाल ये है, यहाँ जो मौजूद बैठे हैं स्पोक्स पर्सन, कि हम एजुकेशन पर, एनवायरनमेंट पर और कल्चर पर क्यों नहीं बात करते हैं. और क्यों इस बात पर हम नहीं चर्चा करते कि यहां से ब्रेन ड्रेन क्यों हो रहा है? हैदराबाद शहर से क्यों ब्रेन ड्रेन हो रहा है? क्यों हम उसको रोक नहीं पा रहे हैं?
नहीं, क्यों आपको लगता है यहाँ पे मतलब रोजगार नहीं मिल रहा है, इसीलिए नौजवान यहाँ से छोड़ के जा रहे हैं?
यही रीजन होगा। और अगर जो एक पार्टी ने जैसे प्रॉमिस किया है कि हम 4,000 रुपया बेरोजगार नौजवानों को देंगे, तो मेरा सवाल यह है कि आप बेरोजगारी बढ़ाना चाहते हैं या रोजगार बढ़ाना चाहते हैं?
Okay, fair point, fair question.
Ji.
But quick response, and then I'll go to Sriram Curry and to Kasturi after that. If the position nationally is so strong, then why aren't the issues that Mr. Verma raised being addressed? Do you agree that these are issues? These are issues that are relevant
The
to the
brain
voters?
drain has not been perhaps understood properly. We used to have a lot of it, but now it is reverse brain drain. I know a whole bunch of people who are coming back to India looking for place. They are working out of India because
इतने ही ज्यादा लोग जा
the
रहे हैं।
Asian today we are living in what is called as the Asian century, and India is a leader, Asian tiger here. And I think globally anybody who follows the economy knows very clearly that India is going to be the epicenter of business and growth. So people are actually coming back. And
But why is there
drain
this
itna zyada nahi hai.
disconnect? Let me ask Sriram Curry. There seems to be on the face of it, at the top level, yes, fifth largest economy, fastest growing in the world. And certainly these are statistics, these are economic indicators, you can't deny that. But at the same time, at the bottom end of the pyramid, we're also talking about record unemployment. I mean, the fact that multiple political parties, not just Congress, multiple political parties are saying 2,000 rupees, 1,000 rupees, 3,000 rupees to unemployed graduates means there is a problem at the bottom end of the pyramid. So why is there this disconnect?
Zaka, I'll tell you a big secret on national television. We are told that political parties are, in the last 20 years, these two national parties, they are rivals, they disagree on everything. But let me tell you all a secret. They all agree on one thing. We middle class urbanites, we are not citizens. We are taxpayers. So when a politician, a voter and a taxpayer goes into the bar, there are only two stools. Your job is not to be a citizen. Please be very clear, urbanites. Urban middle class job is to pay taxes and pay more taxes and pay more taxes, and lovely email you will get saluting you. You are a taxpayer. You are a nation builder.
So,
So
who
the
gets the two
crux is-
stools? Who gets the two stools?
Or the politician and the other politician.
Okay.
There are also a couple of entrepreneurs who occasionally come, the bureaucrat. Point is this, Zaka, the core philosophy of power is if you are not at the table, you are on the menu.
Okay.
We are not at the table of power. They say that because you are not going to come and vote. The fact that people, 50% in across Indian cities who contribute so much to your 5 trillion economy don't turn up to vote is a kind of nota. Instead of blaming them, saying, why don't you vote, why don't you vote, why don't you vote? Understand the voice, what they're trying to say. They do not feel part of democracy. These are educated people. These are people who pay taxes, who follow rules because you don't care. Look at any Indian city, its contribution. You're talking about north-south divide, east-west divide. I am asking all of you to look at 6 major Indian cities, how much tax it's paid and how much goes back. Your job, therefore, is to keep paying, keep paying.
No, but
keep paying.
I have a point of contention there, and Kasturi, as a resident and a very vocal citizen, please tell us, I think Sriram is right. Taxpayers, a few hundred lakh crores come from all the major 6 cities, including this beautiful city, and yet, on that 365th day, which is voting day, why doesn't the voter show up? If you are so upset and there are so many problems and infrastructure and 1 hour of rain brings the city to a standstill, why is half of this city, more than half of this city, not showing up at the voter booth?
I think Mr. Sriram said that very succinctly, and I tend to agree with him, is the people who don't show up. Yes, there is perhaps one element of a lack of understanding, irresponsibility, or being a new voter. All those can be elements, but I think the biggest elephant in the room is that nobody's really speaking to that section of voters.
No, so the
Nobody
response,
is addressing
So the response is we
tax-paying-
just go off on a long weekend.
Well, I'm not condoning that,
Sure.
but I'm saying there's nobody who is addressing the expectations and the demands of the responsible tax-paying citizen of India.
Okay.
There's always all these appeasement programs that we hear about, like there are eligible women who get a monthly stipend. On that note, I'd like to ask, when are you going to kickstart that program? That was your flagship scheme, Mr. Ram, and hello?
The flagship scheme that you had of giving, what was it, 2,000 rupees?
Monthly stipend of
2,000 or
2,500, I
rupees.
think,
Per
and
woman,
it hasn't
per woman.
started
women.
yet.
You've not
Coming
start-
soon. Coming soon.
You've not started
As
that.
a
That was
woman,
one of your
Not
big
yet
promises.
started.
it was their flagship promise. It was one of their two biggest promises. The other one was the bus travel,
Free bus.
which has been implemented because buses were already there. You just had to stop collecting money. On the other hand, there's no money in the treasury, so you have to find a way to implement this, and we are very skeptical. As a woman, I speak to so many people from eligible classes of society in Hyderabad, Warangal, Kadapa, I've across the two states, but Hyderabad, Warangal, Karimnagar, I've spoken to a lot of women in the working class, and everybody says, there is a feeling just in 4 months of Congress coming into power, there is a feeling of when was this an empty election promise?
Okay.
Have we been
Quick.
taken for a ride?
Okay, quick
This is
response,
one.
and then I'll get the audience
No,
also
I'll
to
let
come
me
in.
add one.
Because I want to
But-
focus on this voter apathy
No,
business.
yeah, but
because
yeah,
I think,
Can I finish
yeah.
one thing though? The other part is, as a fairly well-to-do tax-paying
Citizen, yeah.
citizen, one can argue that most of the taxes don't go, unless it's GST, most of the direct taxes, income tax, goes directly to the center and then, baant dete hain usko. So we really shouldn't ask what the ruling party is doing for the citizens of Telangana because it's not their tax. I think that if we saw visible changes even from the central government, which in this case, I think for me, the two big points have been the metro
Okay.
and the ORR and the RRR, which have all
But
been
did the
central.
central government bring that in?
Yes, yes.
Or did
The metro
the
is a
state
central-
government bring
Well,
that?
the metro
the
is
outer ring
completely,
road and the metro.
is a completely
Okay.
central
can I just
funded
add,
scheme.
yeah,
So
it's-
I feel that empowers people and also encourages trade and commerce, which is why Hyderabad is becoming a
Okay.
destination of choice.
All right. Quick
Yeah,
response.
so,
I'll get the audience in right
no,
after that.
this,
Yeah.
This is in
Karna Gopal first,
continuation
then
to
Mr. Subhash.
what was said about urban voters. For instance, Mr. Sriram said that, middle class is ignored and all that. So I remember we've done a lot of roundtables on urban voters. Why is it that they don't go and, utilize their franchise? In fact, in one of the sessions, he was also there. That was long back. The three things that came up, and very enlightening, I must say. The first thing is, very vociferously, they said, we are paying taxes. So the government, whoever's in power, better deliver, So they were interested. They said, we pay taxes. We are not interested in anything else. The second thing they said was the level of discourse. Like, there are two politicians and they use the kind of language and the level of discourse using galis. That is what put them off. So they're not interested in choosing because it's like choosing A and B and both are bad.
Okay.
The third thing is, very brilliantly, a lot of youngsters, even from Bangalore elsewhere, they said that we don't see politicians who are educated, sophisticated, suave, who can address us in the steel and glass buildings. Send me someone and I'm going to vote for that. So this is what they said. So I think perhaps all the three also matter. They're looking at good level of discourse, qualified politicians, and also maybe, tell them where the tax money is going.
Okay. Before
I'd like to add here that I'm part of the reverse brain drain that Karnaji talked about.
Okay.
I'm a prime example of somebody who's spent a major part of her life abroad and has come back specifically to give back to the country that gave everything to me growing up.
Mr. Subhash, quickly.
About the brain drain. About the brain drain. The same question arises. Now, from past 10 years, what we have seen that many people who are in abroad, they came back and then they are establishing so much manufacturing units. We have become number 2 in the world about, the cell phones.
Okay.
Had we heard about it Did we even imagine that we will be having, the mobile phone? But we are the manufacturing. About the automobile industry, about the pharmacy industry. See,
Okay.
all these things have been developed because of
Okay, before we
the
go
focus.
to the... Okay, so we have a lovely audience here. Some women have also joined us here on the audience. Ma'am, thank you very much for coming to Citizens Manifesto. Have you seen any infrastructure development in the last 10 years in Hyderabad?
Yes, I did during the TDP regime. That time it was good. The roads were maintained very well.
Okay.
We had got a Clean City Award continuously for a few years. And yeah, absolutely. I used to travel to the IT corridor and the roads were like mirror when I was traveling to the office. Now, after the government has changed, I've not seen that and I see a lot of potholes there.
Okay. Interesting point that the lady made. One of the guests made this in the previous show as well. The best parts of Hyderabad city were built even before the state was officially formed. It was done by the TDP almost 20 years ago. Sriram, is that a fair thing, or has the BRS not done anything in the last 10 years? Has the BJP not done anything in the last 10 years?
The contribution of Telugu Desam under Chandrababu Naidu between 95 to 2004 is tremendous.
Phenomenal.
The contribution of Congress in its next decade, when they made the international airport, initiated the metro and created the ring road, is phenomenal. And the contribution of the BRS party, which after the formation of Telangana, the growth stopped for a few years because we had agitation.
Okay.
But it was tremendous contribution of the BRS government to the growth of Hyderabad, especially Mr. K.T. Ramarao, in continuing the story. So all parties, all leaders, I'm very happy to say, have contributed.
Why is
to
there this
Hyderabad.
perception then that whatever was built in Hyderabad
That was
was
the
largely
foundation.
built by Chandrababu
Oh,
Naidu?
well, it's like my uncle who believes the last Bollywood actor was Rajesh Khanna. You can't do anything about him, but
Okay.
life goes on.
Okay, but let's get more questions in. Yeah. Go ahead.
I have a question for all of you. Being Mr. Sriram said, I'm a taxpayer. So my question for you is, are you really connected to the middle class taxpayers? Are you hearing a voice out? I don't know. Because I have never heard anything. It's all about your manifestos, your policies, procedures, whatever agendas. But end of the day, what is it that we want?
Okay, let me ask you, what is it, let's say if you were to pick one issue which you think the middle class residents of Hyderabad, it is the most important for them, according to you, what would that one issue be?
If there is any kind of an emergency which comes up or happens in Hyderabad, especially, is there a number which I can dial and reach out to you guys, stating that, can you resolve this problem immediately in next 1 hour's time? Can you do that?
What is it?
Any problem it could be.
Definitely.
Like yesterday, rain thing happened, the electricity power is completely gone. So there's nobody to address it. We keep calling the numbers or the toll-free numbers, nobody is responding, it's completely busy, it's disconnected. So what is the confidence that we get from you guys, if at all you get elected?
Exactly.
So, Mr. Subhash, isn't it a fair question to ask? I've heard a lot of people complain about this. 1 hour of rain and the city comes to a standstill.
Exactly.
Happens everywhere.
No, but it shouldn't. I mean, this is exactly what Sriram's point is. If you're paying 30% of your income as tax, for God's sake, I mean, 1 hour of rain shouldn't bring a city to a standstill. It's a shame.
Exactly. This is the fair enough question, because we also face the same problem, and I believe every politician is just they're facing the same problem. The thing is that what is the magnitude of this rain and then this just infrastructure, and how is that we are going to solve it? That is the main question on that. But considering that the previous governments, the present government, and the future government, we should have some kind of a responsible person, even in the government. The whichever government is ruling in the state, they should allot someone that this is the problem. Because see, we are from the Bharatiya Janata Party, we are not in power here. But the responsible government who is in the state, whether it is BJP government or any other government, they should have some kind of the person. If there is an emergency on that, you should really ask them and then do it.
No,
but
has
accountability.
has the time come for us to? I mean, we have mayors in cities. Clearly, they're not doing their job.
As
If they were doing their job, we wouldn't have situations. And Karna Gopal is right. Gurgaon, last year, 1 hour of rain and the whole city came to a standstill. Bengaluru, last September, we saw the same thing. We saw this two nights ago in Hyderabad as well. Point is, let Mr. Reddy respond and then I'll come to you, Sriram. This is a shame. This is a disgrace. Like I said, if people are paying good money as taxes, surely they deserve better than this.
Let us all admit the fact that this is all because of poor infrastructure. If there is a geographical piece where like around 10,000 people can fit in with the residences. Now, due to the developments, when all the houses being amalgamated and built up, coming up with the skyscrapers, then the population, the density is increasing. So the
Policy.
the underground
What about the
drainages,
policy?
the drains are not being replaced. So where will all this water go? The utilization, the rains,
So that's
everything.
where the policy
so this
comes
is a,
from.
this is
That's
a,
where the
this
policy
is a,
comes.
What is-
this
what
is
is-
a big
can I-
problem. Not
so
only
what is
here,
the-
No,
it
can
is-
I
it
say-
is there everywhere in the country. But when it comes to, don't you think like 10 years of ruling is not enough to develop, with a pre-plan? When it comes to outskirts of Hyderabad,
did you
at least,
have a plan
when it
in
comes to, when we
4
are discussing
months?
at the
What
heart
is
of
the
the
Congress
city,
government
that
doing
is ठीक,
anything
it has done
different?
before 30 or 40 years ago. But when it comes to the outskirts of Hyderabad, what about our pre-plannings?
Okay.
Why are we
Sure,
having
yeah.
the same
Yeah.
type of
And then we'll
problems
take a break
there?
after that, yeah.
So
Let us-
first of all, let's understand that this is a very scientific question. There is a way to lay the drains, and as a proportion to the roads. Okay, that scientific formula is not being followed. Number one, and there is no policy that actually defines how this is to be done. But I'll tell you in Ahmedabad what they have done. This concrete jungle that we're talking about. So you can actually lay porous. क्या बोलते हैं, porous roads, and you also have a little bit of gravel that actually sucks in water. There are ways to do it, and some cities have demonstrated, but I'm afraid they are tier 2 cities, big ones.
Okay. Sriram and then Kasuri, and then we'll take a break after that, yeah.
5 big cities of India, which are the foundation for our $5 trillion dream, together having paid 12 lakh crores a year for the last 30 years adjusted for inflation, combined do not boast of 1 kilometer stretch of road in this era of artificial intelligence, robotic manufacturing, which can sustain any amount of rainfall. Second, no prime minister of this country has ever represented a metropolitan city as his constituency or a constituency. That tells you in the context of power, you don't matter. And thirdly, and it's very significant you understand this, a lot of things in India are developed by the state. Agriculture is considered important enough to have a ministry. Education, health, cities deserve their own ministry. Hyderabad is a ministry by itself because otherwise the lack of coordination, 5 years just go by. Funds have been spent, bureaucrats go. Lovely foreign tours during summers to understand how to solve the road problems of Hyderabad in London, Sweden, etc. The crux is, it is not a scientific problem, it's a simple political problem. You don't matter. If you can make yourself matter, they'll change.
I think
then
people
we'll take a
should
break.
go a little easy on the, dehumanizing everybody in the room logic, because you mentioned that cities have to have their own ministry. We do. We have, at least on paper, we have a very organized system of local government. How it functions in reality is the question here. And
Does it function? Clearly it doesn't.
Well-
I mean, if I were to take a dipstick poll,
Exactly.
or who their cooperators are,
And
they wouldn't
and
know.
I will say this: the people of Hyderabad voted unanimously against the incumbent corporation, incumbent GHMC,
Yeah.
and voted the BJP into a majority. So, frankly, everybody here on this stage, except Mr. Shriram, who thinks the end is near, but everybody else has to share responsibility on this.
Okay.
I mean, Mr. Ram Reddy probably has the least responsibility in answering this question because he wasn't part of the erstwhile ruling government and he's not really a part of the GHMC. That said, I'll say this. I come from the great city of Chennai, and in Chennai, the ruling party right now, the DMK, one of its poll promises what they're going to take care of the rains. They're going to take care of the storm that hits us every December. We spent 4,000 crores on stormwater drains. Guess what happened last year? We found out that, yes, 4,000 crores was spent, but not on the drains.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
So there is a problem, and I want to address this in the second part of the program as to why the millions and millions of tax-paying citizens in this country, their voices are not heard. You may have local government, you may have your mayors and corporators and so on. Is it time to think of CEOs for cities? We have CEOs for companies. Should a CEO take charge of cities? That's what we'll discuss right on the other side. Welcome back to the Citizens Manifesto. We're coming to you live from the city of Hyderabad, which of course votes on Monday. So the most important thing, please go and cast your franchise. Hyderabad, just like most metropolitan cities in the country, has this notorious record of less than half the city turning up to vote. Let's ask more audience members, more residents of Hyderabad who've come here. Sir, do you believe there's a mismatch between what you as residents expect and what politicians are promising? Sriram in the earlier part of the program was saying that you, the taxpayer, don't matter. Do you feel like that?
There is visible improvement in Hyderabad. Definitely you have to give it to the government, previous government. But then I asked the panel, the BJP members, there was 100 smart cities program launched with great fanfare. And then there was this aspirational districts program. We don't see any of those being implemented in the way it should be. There is improvement, I give it, but what is a report card that is being published every 6 months or every year on what is going on?
Okay, before you answer that, let me also get one more question in from the gentleman here in the green shirt. Do you have a question for our panel?
Well, I have a question for the panel and the media as well, because I firmly believe that the media is a bridge between the citizen and the politicians. But I strongly believe that the media is a bridge between the citizen and the politician. And I'm afraid that the media has terribly failed in its duty for the simple reason that the employment in this country is at an all-time high. But the media is only trying to focus on issues like Mandir, Masjid, Muslim, Hindu. There is a report of News Laundry wherein it said that the media has done 429 shows. But it's so sad that only 1% of it covered on unemployment. All we are focused on Mangal Sutra. Okay. I think the media should really stand up, do its duty.
As a representative of the media, I don't speak for all of the media, but surely I take the point. I think it's a fair point that the gentleman made. But I do want to say, and I'm sure my colleagues in other publications and other channels will also agree, that if the politicians just shut up about all of these issues, the media will not talk about it. Who brought up this whole business of quotas and snatching away and wealth redistribution? It's not the media, it's the politicians did it. And if more and more people are talking about it, the media will reflect that. I'm not saying that that's a justification. All I'm saying is, I don't think the source of the problem is the media. The media is the messenger. I think in this case you're shooting the messenger. But be that as it may, please answer the question about the 100 smart cities.
Exactly. See, as soon as the Modi government has come, the simple formula is that all cities, all states should develop. Whether it is the particular the party ruling in some state, it really doesn't matter, because once the elections are over, we are looking for the growth of that. As per as the federal cooperative system, what we have adapted in from 75 years, that the central government gives funds to the states, but the state government has to spend on that, especially on the infrastructure development or all the development activities, and including the smart cities also.
No, but Mr. Subhash, unfortunately, the states, particularly the southern states, including the state here, Telangana, they are saying you're not giving back enough.
No, we gave a report card. We gave a report card in front of full audience and full media. Our state president and the union president, the president, Mr. Kishan Reddy ji, has given a full report card from past 10 years. What is that we have done to the state?
Okay.
How many funds we have come, and then we have invited media, the citizens, and all the political parties. This is irrespective of any political affiliations on that.
Okay. So can I
in that 10.5 lakh crores have been given to Telangana state, which includes everything, including the infrastructure development. And Telangana state is the major beneficiary for highways. 1.08 lakh crores have been given. That is for, if you see Outer Ring Road, if you see RRR and RTL roads also. But unfortunately, the state government did not contribute on that. Even after that, in spite of that, the properties also we have bought.
They are the party in power.
No, I'll just substantiate.
No, we have an official answer from Rajya Sabha when a question was raised asking what was the length of highways built in all the states. The answer was 411 kilometers in past 5 years in Telangana. Now I just wanted to ask a straight question. Despite having two BJP spokespersons here. We are not getting the straight answers being asked by audience. That is the situation. That is the situation. They talk about brain drain. They talk about migrants.
What is it?
Aren't we aware of the fact that India is having the highest number of people who are migrating to other countries? This has also been revealed by the Rajya Sabha.
Okay, no.
Can I just substantiate?
On the issue of
Come on.
infrastructure spending, one
Yeah.
second. The Ministry of
I
Road
would like to
Transport
ask
and
a straight-
Highways says that in the last 10 years, some 3 lakh kilometers of national highways have been built, and Telangana has been a
No,
beneficiary of that as well.
we are confining to only Telangana.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there was
So,
an official question in
let-
Rajya Sabha.
Okay.
I'm
Only
referring to
400
that.
kilometers.
answer.
Minister
Minister has given the
And one
report.
more thing.
Smart
No.
cities.
Minister has
Zaka,
given the
Zaka,
report.
One straight
Minister
question.
has given the
Can
report
they
in the
show,
Lok Sabha.
when they are talking
When asked
about
questions on that,
infrastructure,
they
can
take
they
about
show
the
a single
UPA
house?
government's
No, can they
the
show a
report on
single
that.
One at a
house?
time, one at a time.
Okay.
You
They are
finish.
referring to lakhs of crores.
Okay.
Can they show a single house which is being built under PM Awas
God.
Yojana?
Please,
This is
I don't think
four
you
crores,
understand the.
4 crore
no.
homes
We have a
have been
very
built.
good
What
one
you're
on that.
saying.
Because they are
Please,
referring
why
to
don't you
budget
contribute
under
on
PM
that?
Awas Yojana.
Why don't you contribute on that?
please.
You
They are
get your
referring
point.
to budget
2015
under
also.
PM Awas
2015.
Yojana.
Do you know what is
But in
PM
practical-
Awas Yojana? Please.
We can't see a single
no.
house.
No, you asked your
I-
question, let her respond. Yeah.
PM Awas Yojana, my friends, why Telangana has not been able to build is typically it happens when the central government funds the scheme and the state government has to match with its investment, and then only the houses come. So Telangana has not done. We have built
If
all over.
so-
We have built.
if
No,
so,
please
if
allow
there
me
are
to
any
finish.
disparities,
Please allow me to finish. So, no wonder that we could not build here or in any of the non-BJP parts. 4 crore homes have been built. 4 crore homes and nothing less than that
big lie.
in our other states. And coming to 100
No,
smart
but
cities.
isn't that,
mission.
one second. Isn't that a problem? Because you are saying central government is allocating money, fine, politics aside. But these 4 crore homes of a majority are being built in BJP states. Then why should states, opposition rule states, cooperate with you? Because you're already,
No,
you're,
you are not
you're
getting
already
it's not,
differentiating
not
there.
Please understand, when the money comes from the center, the state has to match and put in their bit. I'll give you one example. For instance,
Thank you
in
for
smart
accepting.
cities and the infrastructure, the MMTS line 2 in Hyderabad, you would know,
talking
has
about
been
houses.
the proposal for a long time. Why has it not happened? Earlier BRS government and today even Congress is saying you haven't built, nobody has built. You know, once again, please
No,
let me...
let's get to the audience.
No,
The
let
audience
me
has-
clarify.
audience has questions, ma'am.
See,
Please.
the point is center has given 1,200 crores, but the state government has not put its money, so it's lying
Okay,
stalled there.
let's get more questions. Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Now, everybody is in. Now it is okay?
Yeah, go.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Everybody is so confident on implementing their policies and schemes, and at the end of the day, that cannot be implemented. This is the reality. But point is that why don't you take a challenge that if you could not implement your policies, why to take a challenge of right to recall of your post?
Okay, right to recall of MLAs and MPs. Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Yeah, this is Naidu.
A little louder.
Hello, this is Naidu. As a taxpayer, I will ask you one question. In previous government and present government, why you people contest without announcing freebies? Why? Because freebies are from our money. Please answer.
One more question and then we'll get...
Yeah, my name is Major Shivakiran. I represent the RWA community in Hyderabad. I couldn't agree more with Mr. Sriram Kari when he said, if 50% is not voting, that's the message we are giving you. We're not happy with any of you. So then what do we do? The question is, we still want to vote. We still keep trying. And the point is, when will you answer? When will you deliver on your promises is the question. Basic needs, as Zaka said, yesterday again, some examples that we relate to them. We want a visible governance. You made a nice point of the CEO of a municipality. Visible governance. When the rain happens, we want you on the field. We want you to be visible, seen that you're doing something for us. That is not happening not only in Hyderabad, anywhere else, as Zaka said, but we want that to happen.
So can all the citizens gather and demand a CEO for the city? I'm just asking one question.
Yeah, good evening. I'm Dr. Navina, and I'm an ophthalmologist. My question to the Congress spokesperson, Mr. Ram here. In the beginning of your talk, you said you raised the Arogyashri amount from 5 lakhs to 10 lakhs. Yes, that's a wonderful thing for a common man.
But from the point of view of the doctors, my question is, we have not been paid for our services from past 1.5 years. And still we are continuing our jobs, our work, and there's absolutely no change in the quality work. So having known that there is no money in the government here, you have made a promise, and which, I don't know, for how many months it is going to take to pay all the hospitals, doctors. It is running in crores. But still the promise has been made. So how are you going to do with that? And also, not all the common ailments which a person has, they have not been included in Arogyashri. Why is that so? And are you going to do something about it?
Okay. Please respond, Mr. Ramon Reddy first, and then I'll come across
Please
the
don't
panel.
attribute BRS failures to Congress party because they were not committed. And Congress party is committed. And we are here to pay the debts. And in just 100 days, we have paid 26,000 crores of debt of the H12 government. And we are committed to pay. And as you said, it was pending from last 1.5 years. We were not in power. We were in power from last 3 months. So give us some air, give us some room.
Okay.
And all the debts are going to be cleared. And before that, Naidu raised a reasonable question about taxes. This country belongs to all. Even if we consider a peasant who eats a 2 rupees of Parle-G biscuit packet, he even pays tax on it. Let us not discriminate them because we are here in this position having some job. There are so many kids who are dying. You are a doctor. There are so many kids who are dying, who are less than 5-year-old. That is what Global Hunger Index is warning us. Today we are ranked at 111 out of 126 countries. Our situation is pathetic. We are all humans. We want some inclusive development. The rest of the people are starving. And we, as a government, put all sort of efforts to feed their stomach. We want them to study. We want to provide education. We want them to provide health and infrastructure. Kindly let us not...
The question
In the
that
last
the
60
gentleman
years,
asked was
what has
not about
Congress done?
No, one
You're
second.
saying like
There is a difference
done in the last 60 years?
difference between being a welfare state and these handouts. I think the welfare state, nobody has a problem with. Even BJP, every time they say 80 crores people are getting free food
I'm so
grains.
sorry.
Is that not a welfare state?
No, not at all.
They keep saying that all the time.
From past 10 years, they
Where
are
is the
not even given
Zaka?
or
Just
issued a
ask him
single
to-
ration
ask-
card.
ask him.
Single ration card in this 130 crore population. Single ration card. They are not enhanced any pensions.
Any hunger deaths so
They're
far
not
in that.
welfare party.
Yeah, deaths in that.
But
See,
this malnutrition
even-
index is right. I mean, we are...
Okay,
so
malnutrition
it's a
I can
shame
say.
that
See,
we should be 100 plus out of 120
No,
countries.
the malnutrition is okay. But hunger deaths, we don't
That
see
is not okay for us.
Even in the Corona times also, the Corona times also, we have seen, the government has really attributed so much, the contributed on that. And, the deaths have really stopped on that.
Okay.
Now you say 80 crore people have been given free ration today. Even for
Which was there
the
in
next
2013
5 years
One
also. No,
important thing.
it was not there.
And that was
It was-
Congress
it
who
was
brought
not
in
there.
Food Security Act.
The Congress
I'll come to
representative
you,
is
Sriram.
talking
Just one
about
second.
hunger.
Yeah.
60 years they ruled the country. What happened to Garibi Hatao? It is only after Modi came, 25 crores
28
people have
crore
been
people
pulled out of
are
multi-dimensional
down to
poverty.
BPLs now.
You read the records,
Below
please. Now
poverty
you are,
line.
You're
Okay.
quoting, you
Okay.
quoting.
Changing the
Sriram,
stats
Sriram.
will not
Since
change
this
the fate.
program is called Citizens Manifesto.
Yes.
I would like to ask Mr. Verma, a very famous artist from Hyderabad, a question.
Please.
We talk about creation of jobs being a national mission, which means entrepreneurs who create jobs are what we need. We need companies that become important, companies that seek profit and create jobs and value, etc.
Okay.
And yet, my problem is this, with you, Mr. Verma, and your industry, there has not been one movie in the last 50 years in Bollywood or Tollywood where a job creating businessman is a hero. They're always the villains. This country cannot have jobs if you do not worship job creators. Can there be a
hang
movie?
on. No. I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Verma is a soft target. His industry is a soft target.
आपने एक झटके में मुझे
mainstream
politician बना दिया.
politicians today are talking about wealth redistribution.
But
Why
नहीं,
are you
मैं-
holding Mr. Verma? Poor Mr. Verma.
नहीं,
Because art has greater impact and it will force manifestos to change.
नहीं,
if
मैं
he
I
picks
agree.
it up.
I'll come to that point. मेरा एक बहुत मूट पॉइंट है. हम लोगों ने मैक्रो इश्यूज पर बहुत बात की है, लेकिन माइक्रो इश्यूज पर जब आएंगे तो कल्चर के लिए यहाँ पर किसी भी गवर्नमेंट ने कुछ नहीं किया। हमारे अब के एमपी ने भी नहीं किया, वो मिनिस्टर ऑफ कल्चर रहे हैं अभी।
क्यों
मेरा सवाल नहीं,
मतलब
मेरा सवाल ये नहीं, कुछ नहीं हुआ। आई एम बीइंग वेरी ऑनेस्ट विद दैट। तो मेरा सवाल ये है कि क्या अगली बार जो भी चुनकर आएगा, क्या वो यहाँ कल्चरल फ्रेटर्निटी के लिए कुछ करेगा? आपको सुनकर ताज्जुब होगा कि हैदराबाद ही एक ऐसा मेट्रोपॉलिटन शहर है जहां पर एक परफॉर्मिंग स्पेस नहीं है। स्टेट ऑफ द आर्ट परफॉर्मिंग स्पेस यहां पर नहीं है हैदराबाद में, छोटे छोटे शहरों में। किसी ने एक सेकंड और जी क्या है?
असेंबली है ना,
असेंबली तो पार्लियामेंट भी है ना ऊपर।
कस्तूरी इज आल्सो इन द सेम स्पेस। डू यू फील
एक सेकंड, लेट मी फिनिश। वो मैं थिएटर से भी जुड़ा हूं, तो सिनेमा से ज्यादा मैं थिएटर के बारे में इसीलिए बात करूंगा। एक तो इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर की बात, दूसरी बात यह है कि जो फंड्स मिलते हैं अक्रॉस इंडिया, सारे थिएटर ग्रुप्स को फंड मिलता है सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से। ये बहुत कम लोगों को पता है। लेकिन 2017 से सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट ने, मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर ने इंडिविजुअल ग्रांट बंद कर दिया है। मेरे जैसे लोग जिनकी कोई रजिस्टर्ड ऑर्गेनाइजेशन नहीं है लेकिन पिछले 40 साल से थिएटर के साथ जुड़े हैं, हमको कोई फंड्स नहीं मिलते, हम अपने जेब का पैसा डालकर करते हैं। लेकिन मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर ने इंडिविजुअल ग्रांट एबॉलिश किया है, डिस्पाइट द फैक्ट कि एक बहुत अच्छा मूव उनका था कि डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर उन्होंने किया।
Okay, I am already a minute over, so Kasturi, do you share the same pain? I mean, this is the place that makes what, 1,000 movies a year? Is that what it is, or 600 movies a year or thereabouts? And there is a feeling that no government is doing anything for the cultural space.
I agree that there was a time when I was growing up, there was a National Film Development Corporation, there was a Children's Film Development Corporation, and these were the, there were wonderful times when, Zaka, perhaps you were a kid as well at that time, and we all grew up watching and learning about culture. जो आपने कहा था वो कल्चर हमने हर संडे को हमको सीखने के लिए मौका भी मिल रही थी, because we would watch all these different language pictures. एक रंगोली होगा, एक चित्रमाला होगा, where we would sit and watch different performances from different languages, and this was something along with the Mahabharats and the Ramayans of the day were part of our staple diet, and we grew up with that. Right? So I would say yes, all that has completely gone down. Government initiatives have gone down. That said, I think that would be something that I myself would be pushing for, as would be our community, because fortunately Hyderabad...
We're completely out of time.
Let me at least get fortunately, the Telugu film industry has led the way in the renaissance of Indian films on a global scale. So forget about Bollywood, forget about cultures, not just the North. Culture starts from Hyderabad, and we don't have to wait for the government to show us that.
I'm completely out of time, yeah.
As soon as our, the minister, Mr. Kishan Reddy has become, the culture minister and the tourism, if you see in Telangana itself, there are so much of cultural activities have been happening, and then we have already started foundation stone at Ghantasala, art of performing arts, here. That is irrespective of apart from Ravindra
I have to wrap up. I'm completely out of time. Thank you very much to our panelists and this lovely audience. Can we have a round of applause as we wrap up the Citizens Manifesto? But our election journey with citizens and their political representatives will continue. From Hyderabad, we'll be going to Mumbai and then Lucknow and then Kolkata. We hope you can join us there, just like you have in this journey. If you've been tuned in, from me, Zaka Jacob, and the rest of the CNN News 18 team, thank you very much. Good night.